Welcome to Shed Quarters. Now, tragedies like Luke's spread out to family, friends and local communities. And today we're travelling via technology to Luke's hometown to find out how they're coping. And joining us via Zoom is... Now, where am I calling you from, Beck?
I'm actually in Goulburn, in New South Wales.
You're in Goulburn because I know I think Luke's from Crookwell. And how far away is that from you?
That's about 30 minutes. So I'm a Crookwell homegrown girl as well, but yeah, living in Goulburn nowadays.
Oh, you moved to the Big Smoke, did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Well done. Now listen, the reason we're talking to you because you do have a close affiliation with Luke and his family. Your young fella was, I'm not too sure of his name. Actually, I should have asked before we began having a chat. He was one of Luke's best buddies, hey?
He was one of them, yeah. Jacob's his name. He played rugby and known Luke since he was about 4 years old. He's turning 18 next Friday, so he's been a big part of his life for a long time.
So Jacob is turning 18 just like Luke did earlier in the year, so this is a prime time to be having a chat and creating awareness about these things. And Luke was a talented young rugby player and you were also the team manager, so you've also got a close affiliation through sport as well.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I've watched him play with Jake through the years, but last year and again this year I got to manage the under-18s team, so got to know him a lot better through that affiliation.
Now, we were talking to a policeman last week talking about these different sorts of things. When tragedies like this happen, Beck, they sort of filter out to the rest of the community and family and friends. How's the local community up in Crookwell and Goulburn and surrounding areas coping in the aftermath?
Look, it hit the boys, I mean girls too, but I was closer to the boys with the team. It hit them quite hard. I know it definitely hit my son Jake really hard. He's still, you know, some days, just like anyone, when you're mourning, you have your good days and your bad days, but it definitely rocked our rugby world, our school world, because Jake was the year below Luke in school as well, and also my youngest son, because he was at school with him and has played rugby with him as well. So it really did have quite a profound effect on everybody. Well,
one thing that you're doing up there to try and lift spirits and so forth, you've organised a memorial rugby match in Luke's honour, and I believe, is it this weekend or next weekend it was meant to happen, but of course with restrictions around the country and so forth you've had to postpone it, Beck, is that right?
Yeah, it was going to be on the 25th of September. That was a date that worked out really well for both the Crookwell and the Goulburn club at the time, and also Luke and Luke's mum and dad, John and Glenda, because they also got their oldest son, Lockie, playing rugby, so it would have all worked in really well to be on the 25th, but unfortunately with COVID, yeah, we just thought we don't want to lose the day, but we just had to move it to be, you know, hopefully in a COVID-free time.
Well, hopefully all these restrictions will lift pretty soon and we can move on. I love the names of the teams too. The Goulburn Dirty Reds and the Crookwell Dogs are going into battle for is it the Luke McHugh Cup you're calling it, are you? Memorial Cup?
So there'll be two aspects to the day. There's actually it's a 10s mixed comp for the day where we've put together some teams that are playing under the names of things that Luke loved. Like, for example, his Sandman, his Pup Jacks, also Bundy Rum, Woody Blues, all those sorts of things. So there'll be a mixed dress-up day, and then there'll also be a trial match between Crookwell and Goulburn on the day as well. So the mixed fun day is who will fight it out for the Luke McHugh Memorial Cup.
Oh, it's good. Well, it's going to help lift the spirits, but also keep Luke's memory going on as well. So have you got anything else happening on the day as well? Any entertainment or I believe, I think you're having an auction, are you, as well?
Yes, we're going to have a few things through the day. Will be, you know, the canteen will be open, but we'll have, you know, a lucky door prize. We're going to have a raffle. We'll also have an auction. The Brumbies rugby, ACT Rugby, have actually donated a signed Brumbies jersey, and we'll also the under-18 side this year actually came up with a under-18s memorial jersey that the boys wore for the season, which had a black armband put into it with Luke's name on it. So the boys got to wear and take Luke out with them for each game. So we're also going to auction off one of those jerseys that were in the kit that was left over, number 25. So that's just to bring a bit of funds back into the club so that we can continue doing days like this for Luke.
Well, hopefully it can be an annual event and so forth, and keep on creating awareness, particularly with under-18s and the dangers of fatigue with young people, because there's so many things that can happen on the road and trying to be focused and so forth. But I think fatigue somehow is way down the list. But when you're 18, you're playing footy, going to school and all these things happening at the one time, well, fatigue can sneak in, hey?
It absolutely can. It's not something I really thought about until this happened. You always know or hear of boys and girls having accidents on the road through drink or speeding, but fatigue's actually not something that I thought of. And we've got quite a lot of the boys in our team who are rural. They're from Crookle, or they're from Weo, where Luke was, and they're on the roads travelling home from training after a day at school or a day at work, and they're training for 2 hours and then heading home. So it's a big issue that we really need to put out to the community.
Well, that's why I'm so honoured to be doing this sort of thing. And also John and Glenda and also Lockie, they're still involved with the club. Obviously Lockie still plays and so forth, but they're big rugby fans. But it's great that they're creating awareness, not just through this match, but through all sorts of different avenues.
Yes, definitely. I think it's an important message to get out there. And I did watch your last show and watched, other families that this has affected, and you don't want this to happen to anybody else if it can be avoided. You just don't want that hurt and that sadness, in your boys' faces and in their hearts.
No, I know. Well, listen, I thank you very much for your time today. When is the match? When are you expecting to get it played? I know we don't know what's going on in the world, but we never do really. But when are you aiming for, Beck?
We've penciled in now the 26th of March next year. So all going well, able to do that, which is just before the start of the season. So the trial match will be good for the teams to get rolling again, and also get people who love rugby and give them a good experience on the day and have a bit of fun, just to bring that laughable larrikin spirit that he has to the club and for the boys.
Well, keep us posted, because we can actually, pardon the pun, post things up on our Shed Show socials and so forth like that and let everyone know, and hopefully we can get a crowd along and to cheer everyone along in this great Luke McHugh Memorial Cup, as we're calling it.
Yes, we would love that. The teams are based from 14 ages up to 80, so if anyone wants to play or wants to be part of the day or wants to donate to the raffle or anything like that, we're more than happy to hear from you or see you on the day. We think it's going to be a lot of fun. There'll be music, there'll be dinner and live music afterwards. So it should be a fun day for all the boys and all the girls, because girls can play too.
Thank you very much for doing this for Luke.
No, thank you for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
No worries, ciao. Lovely to speak with you. It's great to see Luke and his friends keeping his memory alive. And what better way to do it through a sport he loved, rugby, and also a game that brings so many people together. I'm sure Luke will be cheering them on and riding every bump on the day.